Hi Suchitra.
Hi.
We got to know that you are writing a book.
Yes, can you believe it?
So tell us something about it.
It's Swapnolok Society. It's actually a series of books, and the first one is called The Summer of Cool. The series is called Swapnolok Society, and the first one is called Summer of Cool, and then there are three titles after that. Actually, I always knew I wanted to write, and many years ago, I'd approached Penguin with a compilation of my poems, and they had said, "Sorry, but no market for poetry. But if you ever write a book, blah blah blah." Then, of course, I got so busy with my painting and everything, and then somewhere in middle of last year, I decided to take a break for a few months and not do anything. And of course, I couldn't sit idle, so I started writing this story, which was in my head for a long time. And I started writing it, and then it was done in about 6 weeks. As I started writing it, it all kind of just rushed out, and I sent it to Sudeshna at Penguin, and she read it and she got excited and she said, "Great, can we develop it into a series? Can we do like three? Can you write three more?" And my initial reaction was like, "Are you crazy? I didn't even know I could write one." But I found the whole thought of doing that very challenging. I didn't know whether I could, and so I said yes, of course, let's go for it. And that's how the Swapnolok Society series came about. But my first book that I wrote was a story that I had in my head for a while. It's actually based on largely on when I was growing up. I grew up in this very typical urban middle class society in Mumbai, and a lot of the characters are from my days of growing up. Like there's underwear auntie and underwear uncle, because they hang their underwear out or in view for the whole world to see. And there's Haldi Mami, whose head keeps nodding diagonally, and the main protagonist of the first book, Chitrangana, who's also called Chitti, which is incidentally also my pet name, though of course our worlds are different, our inner worlds are different. And as I started writing it, I mean, I knew I had my main characters, I knew I had a story, but I found the whole process developing into something magical. I mean, I found, when you're on the page, you start off with a blank piece of paper, and suddenly there are all these people breathing and talking and whispering to you and creating a whole universe in itself. So I would almost say that it's like literally I started finding them talking to me and revealing their secrets to me and telling me things, and and then it would be like, then what did she say and what did she say? So it in my head, and hopefully what I've conveyed on the page, that's what happened. I started creating a whole like a parallel magical universe. So Swapnolok Society, the title itself is like a metaphor for urban utopia. It's a society where everything happens and where dream comes true, and people interact and fight, and it's chaotic and it's magical and it's loving, and everybody comes together. And so it's like a parallel universe, a magical reality, a world in itself, and that is what I've created, and I hope everybody loves it, and the whole of India and all Indians all over the world read it and say this is the best book ever. Great fun. And no, I had fun writing it. I enjoyed the process of writing a lot. Like I said, I always knew I would write. I just didn't know exactly what it would be about, and most people are expecting me to come up with some scandalous autobiography, and that's rubbish. It's not my style. And this is a book that I think everybody from 10 to 100 can read and enjoy and identify with the characters, and it'll resonate with a lot of people who have grown up in urban India, or even like small town India with in the typical housing society scenario. And of course, those who've not grown up like that can find out about it from the book. So.
So we got to know that you're an actor, singer, painter, and a writer now.
Yeah.
So what's next coming up, Suchitra?
I don't know. See, I see all art forms, frankly, as interconnected. We all have, all of us have stories to tell. All our lives are very unique and very exciting in their own way. And when you've had a life that's very varied, when you've come into contact with so many experiences and so many people, you have a lot of stories to tell. So that's what I'm doing, and I think I'll continue to do everything. But if you really ask me, because my friends and my family are constantly teasing me that I'm so spaced out, and like they call me Sputnik, you know, which is like lost in space. So I would say, yeah, my next step would probably be an astronaut, and I just, because my head is half in space already. So, but I enjoy doing the things I do, and I don't see why everybody thinks that you should just do one or the other when you're enjoying everything. Yeah, it's probably not a very career-oriented approach, you know, in the sense you don't start one thing and then go hammer and tongs till you've got this big bungalow and you've got this big legacy that you've left behind. But I like to do things that I enjoy, and that's what I'll do. Oh, I'm dying for Swapnolok Society to go out in the stores. I'm dying for all of you to read it. I'm dying to get a feedback. So give me your blessings, wish me luck, and lots of love.